I'm back, boys and girls, with your math distance learning packet. We're going to go over your tasks for April 15th, 16th, and 17th. As I said in the previous video, make sure that you are practicing your multiplication facts daily. You can do this with flashcards. You can make flashcards or study the flashcards that you've already made. You can play multiplication war with a family member. You can play or practice online with Reflex Math or multiplication.com are just a few of the ways that you can practice. I would love for you to continue working every day on Reflex Math. If you achieve 100% fluency before the end of the year, then I will have a special prize for you. Just because we're not in school does not mean that I cannot get your prize to you. I will drive to your house. And I believe that you will be very pleased with your prize if you achieve 100% fluency. It's a special privilege that my students get every year. Those that get 100% fluency on Reflex Math, they get a special prize each year. And normally they get acknowledged in the award ceremony at the end of the year also. Now, I don't know if we're going to have that or not because we don't know what's yet to come with school, but it doesn't matter if we have school or not. Miss Clatt's going to make sure that you get your prize. So work hard on that, guys. You need to know all your facts fluently. That means you can recall them as fast as you can say your name. And of course, correctly, without having to count on your fingers. You'll need to know these for 4th grade. Sarah, can you come over here and tell them whether or not they should know their facts for 4th grade? Do you need to know your facts for 4th grade?
Yes, it's extremely important.
What happens if you don't know your facts, Sarah?
You're probably not going to succeed in most of the things that we began learning in 4th grade.
All right, guys, you heard it straight from the mouth of Babe, straight from the mouth of a 4th grader. It's going to sink or swim next year, guys. So you got to know those facts. And, Miss Clatt's helped you every step of the way. I've encouraged you. We've learned a lot of strategies, and now you've got to put it in action. So you can do it. All right, y'all, moving along. So for April 15th, you're supposed to complete the independent practice on page 5. Pretty much the same thing here for April 16th, complete the mastery check on page 6. And then on page 7, you're going to complete the weekly review. Now for each of these, the lessons are pretty much the same. So I'm going to head on over here to your learning guide for April 15th, 16th, and 17th. So your learning objective is that I can solve real-world problems involving equal groups. And notice, boys and girls, that they have sort of written up a little lesson for you each day or for each set of days before you actually do the practice. Just like we do in class, they've started off with your learning objective and your standards. So you know what it is that you're practicing for that day. And we know that this learning objective focuses our learning on what's important, what we have to be able to do by the end of the lesson. Now, of course, this is a review of what we've already learned in class. The example here says that when solving real-world problems that involve equal groups, we need to recognize that a group of objects are always being divided up into 2 or more equal sets. Let's look at the problem below. Mrs. Ross bought 15 lollipops for her reading group. Sounds like something Miss Clatt would do. She wanted to give an even share to her 3 students. How many lollipops can each student get? Now, I don't know about you guys, but when I saw an even share right away, my mind went straight to what? Yes, you know it, division or partitioning. When we partition, we put something into equal groups. In the real-world problem above and any similar problems, we should recognize that to find the answer, we have to divide the total number of objects by however many people are receiving those objects. The number sentence below can be used to find the answer. And of course, the number sentence is 15 divided by 3 is equal to the unknown. Now here, boys and girls, there is a box for the unknown, but what is another name for the unknown? Let's see if we can retrieve that from our memories. I know you guys have not forgotten everything. Stay with me here. Starts with a V. Yep, that's it, variable. So here we have a box, just an empty box, but it could be a letter for the unknown. It could be the letter Y, the letter Z, or it could be another shape like a triangle or even a question mark. So keep that in mind, boys and girls, that that sometimes whenever we're answering equations or number sentences, that the unknown can be represented in different ways, or the variable, which is another name for the unknown. 15 divided by 3 equals 5, so the answer to the question is 5. Written as a sentence, a student might say, Mrs. Ross can give each of her students 5 lollipops. Once again, what do we call 15? What's the mathematical name for the number being divided? Yes, dividend. And then the second number in the division sentence is either going to represent the number of groups or the number in each group. And what do we call that number? Yes, the divisor. And then, of course, here we're actually looking for the what? The keyword, the quotient. Okay, so for April 15th, the directions just say to solve the real world problems found below. So let's do the first one together. Zachary has 27 pine cones. He divided them equally into 3 bowls. How many pine cones are in each bowl? Oh,